Bill. Thanks for coming in today.
Oh, you're welcome.
Please tell me your first and last name and the name of the company that you work for.
William Hollenbeck. I work in Attorney's Casino since day one back in 1993, which was originally going to be a shopping mall, and today it's a gaming facility. Been
So-
there for 28 years.
Oh my goodness. What do you do at the Turning Zone?
Right now, I work in the engineering department, senior facilities supervisor. So I'm doing all the projects. We have some COVID money for air handling units. We want to make sure that the air is clean for the patrons as well as the workers. So and now we're working on a bunch of DOE projects, Department of Energy projects to save money. So that's basically what's on my plate now, and I, supervise a lot of people, and also if they have questions on certain things, since I've been there so long, I kind of know where every pipe and wire goes in the facility.
So if I were a student coming to work for you, how can I be successful with your company?
I think what you got to do, if you can get the basic skills, as they teach at BOCES, hands-on electrical, HVAC, which is basically plumbing also. Get those skills instead of, everybody nowadays, they're on the cell phones and they're doing this and not using their hands. So if you get the basic skills, you can come in and you can get trained with the right person, then you can excel, because every facility is different. You could be the smartest person in the world, but it may take you a year in a big facility to learn where everything is.
So would I need a high school diploma then to come over and work with you?
Not necessarily. I mean, if you get employed, you'll have to get it within a year. But we'll work with people, definitely work with people, because of the area and the way the COVID's hurt the economy. We're hurting too, trying to get people in. We're taking and recruiting people from Orlando now, a different state, because Disney World is basically shut down, and a lot of the manpower is shifting up here. So,
Well, that's good. If I were to start with you, what's the starting range and of the salaries?
it depends where you're at. So, if you are, say you're coming from BOCES, you'd be a level 1 technician. We have 3 levels. If you have field experience, you've been in the field for 10 years, you come in as a level 2. And if you were a supervisor or a boss outside of the casino, you would come in at the higher level. So you could start from $15 to $25 an hour, depending on where we would put you. And we would know probably within the first week where you'd be at, because a lot of people say, I should be a level 3 when they're really not. I mean, I can write the best resume in the world, but prove it. That's the way
Right.
we look at it.
But there is room for movement. So if I do start at level 1 and I prove myself, I can work my way up.
Absolutely, and if we take care of 80% of funding. If you want to go back to college or school, if you want to come back here to BOCES and go to adult education and sharpen up your skills a little bit, but you have to have a B average, of course, because you don't want somebody just showing up getting a D. 80% of it will be funded by the employer, which is Turning Stone.
So how about social media? What if I have a social media account? Is that checked as part of my employment?
Absolutely. I mean, you don't want to be looking for car parts. Basically, when you're at work, and if you got somebody who's on their phone all the time like this, it doesn't look good, but it's not safe either. You could trip over something if you're on a ladder. So that's part of the safety part of it. And it's a waste of time if you're on social media. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes we'll pick up our cell phones for resources. We're looking for parts, model, serial number, unit we're working on. We need to get a parts list on it, pricing. We will do that. But social media is good or it's bad. Look what it's done to the world.
Do you check accounts of Facebook accounts or anything like that?
Our IT department does. If somebody's hitting a site numerous times, I mean, we check the weather for our infrastructure for the power and electricity. But if you got somebody that's on a shopping network or YouTube all the time, that is checked, it's flagged, then the supervisor will talk to them and say, hey, you gotta get focused. And some websites, we have a web blocker that comes up, so we have certain security purposes, like, children wanted the house.
Perfect. So where would I go to look if you're hiring? Can I go to Indeed? Can I go to LinkedIn?
You can, Turning Stone has its own website, turningstonecasino.net jobs, and it has the blocks for, we have so many entities. You can go to the casino, you can go to the YBR, Yellow Brick Road, the Lake House, which is off-site casinos. You can go to Card Care, you can go work for the Nation. There's so many different possibilities. You'll find 99% of them there. If they don't get hired within, you will also see it on like Indeed. Awesome.
How about uniforms?
The facilities, hourly technicians do have uniforms, so everybody looks the same. We do have to have a COVID mask on, and we do require an ID badge because we're under the state license, so everybody has a number. So mine's low, and we're over 35,000 now. So that many people have either stayed or went through the door, basically. So,
Awesome. Do I have to bring my own tools if I were working with you?
We provide the tools only because you don't know what's going in and what's going out. And it's a safety thing, because if you bring your grandfather's tools in from home and they're not safe, they're not up to our standards, they're old, somebody could get hurt. So we do provide the tools, necessary tools to do the job.
Great.
And if you need something, you talk to your supervisor and they'll get you what you need.
Okay, great. So I guess last is give me some inspiration. What is it that you think that I should know about going out after graduating in any business in this field?
I mean, every field's different. We're basically hospitality, we're gaming, so we're different than any other facility. But if you go out in the field and we're losing the skill set with hands-on, look at what happened with the flooding in Texas with the cold weather. They're charging people $300 to $400 to change a leaking elbow on a pipe. We do not have the people fortifying the field coming up. It's hard to get people. Most of the people are doing computer work now. We need hands-on people. We don't have enough of them. And look at the unions, the electrical unions, the HVAC unions. We do not have anybody, and they pay you on the job training if you can get into the union, as well as a license program, the EPA and everything. We don't have anybody to fill the slots. We're going way behind. The days of the people working with their hands is past. It's hurting everybody.
So thank you for your time. Thanks for coming in and sharing your story with us. And we look forward to seeing you again sometime.
Well, you're welcome. If you had any questions or anything, let me